Okay, hey there, folks. Brian Husky here, back during this weird time, of course, when society's kind of in a weird spot, and that's made things crazy for everybody. And same here with us. Full house, working from home, mom and dad and kiddo. So yeah, things have been kind of wild and disrupted, but glad to be back here trying to share some stories. And despite being pretty congested with a good old case of the common cold on top of everything else. But we will get through this. So here we go with something new and different that we're going to share with you today. For those of you who are listeners of this podcast series, I'm really excited now to add a visual element to my storytelling efforts. And so now, in addition to the recorded essays, I'm also producing a series of short films. I'm going to call them Wired to Wander. And they're going to chronicle the visual elements of my archery elk seasons from approximately 2012 up to the present. And like all the various colors, of lights on a Christmas tree, each respective essay that I write, like all of those that you've heard here as podcasts, they only cover some of the memories and experiences. There's always plenty of additional one-off encounters or tidbits that get passed over. Not to mention the obvious, that in podcast format, all of the visuals are your own, based on what my descriptions happen to paint in your own mind. But the fact is, every outing I take a bunch of photos and videos to. And in my continuous efforts over the years to be discreet of where I'm hunting and maintain a philosophy that for some places, the internet doesn't need to know where, I've kept much of this footage to myself. But paired with the fact that I've moved locations so many times now, and my growing inspiration to share my experiences with others, I'm excited to finally give this additional content a public home. And hopefully, an audience. These short films will be posted on the video page of my website, skylinesadventure.com, and via my YouTube account, Fishbite Idaho. And like I'm doing here, I'll also post the audio from each one of these short films here as a podcast, since they'll be full of narrative and audio textures to make them listenable too, for those who prefer to use their ears and not their eyes. With that, welcome to the introductory episode of Wired to Wander. And to see what you're about ready to hear, hop over to skylinesadventure.com. When a ball of twine suddenly rolls across the floor in front of a house cat, the cat does not sit there and ponder if it should strike into attack pose and then pounce on that ball of string. It just does it. I think it's simply wired into the cat's existence to do so, as a reflex reaction to the circumstance. Certain circumstances seem to draw reflex reactions from myself as well. I ponder that if, as humans, our DNA has sprawled so far that there is an enormous spectrum of things that trigger such deep-rooted reflex reactions in us. The kind of things that we are able to consciously recognize as triggers, as things we are innately drawn to, things we feel we were born to do. Some of us are especially lucky to not only have and recognize, but also be able to facilitate and seek these reaction-based pursuits in our lives for the pure thrill of it. And the person who has had the fortune, the good luck,
to grasp hold of their own personal connections to wild animals and remote places is, in my opinion, living a charmed life. I feel that personally, I am holding an embarrassment of riches in this category, because beyond the basic human instincts that are wired in at the factory, sex, hunger, and survival, I zealously guard 3 additional passions: slicing through air aboard 2 wheels, coaxing fish to the end of a line, and nuanced means of hunting elk with a bow and an arrow. Walking into the backcountry, especially alone, with implement in hand, shelter, and days of provisions on my back, is pure fulfillment for me. Far out there beyond my tracks, my mind races ahead like a year-old Vizsla puppy, and I ask questions. What will I encounter? What will I hear? How far can I go? How long can I stay? How strong is my fitness? How sharp is my shooting? Can I pack an elk out this far alone? What will I feel like the next time my hand touches the door of my truck? And where is my luck needle pointing today? So I'm finally sitting down to take stock of what recent years' hunts have provided and compile my thoughts, the sights, and the sounds I've been fortunate enough to bring home with me. From 2013 to 2019, my friends and I have wrangled up a lot of content that I'm grateful to share with you now. It's my journey, my trek, if you will, as a hunter who's wired to wander.